You will hear a discussion between a student and his professor about a work placement scheme. First, you have some time to look at questions 21 to 25. Listen carefully to the first part of the discussion and answer questions 21 to 25.
Morning, Professor. You wanted to see me?
Yes, John. Come in.
Is it about what I said at the seminar? Because, I was being devil's advocate.
Yes. No, it's not about that. Have you given some thought to that work placement scheme I told you about? Because you'll have to make your mind up soon.
To be honest, not a lot. I've had a lot on my plate. I didn't realize there was a rush.
As I understand it, your application should be in after the vacation, but we can check that. Soonish, anyway. I think you'd be a fool not to try. It's a wonderful opportunity to get to know how government really works, the nitty-gritty.
But isn't the nitty-gritty rather boring? All committee meetings and paperwork.
There's a lot of that, granted. But you can't run a country, run anything, in fact, without it. Reminds me of Auden. Today the expending of powers on the flat, ephemeral pamphlet and the boring meeting. He was after something more dangerous.
So, what can you tell me about it?
I can give you the basics, but I've arranged a meeting for you with Sharon Michaels, who has done it herself and can tell you much more about it than I can. What's it like, I mean?
A meeting? When?
Today, now, as soon as we've finished here. So, this scheme, it gives you the chance to work in the House of Commons with one of six, I think it's six, departments, which will give you an insight into how Parliament works and the country is run. The thing is, it's only open to those doing a 4-year course at university, and you do it in your 3rd year. You're coming up to the end of your 2nd, hence the rush. Look, let me show you how to get to Sharon's house. She can tell you much more, and she's expecting you.
Okay.
You know where the town library is?
Yes, on the corner of Main Road and Green Street. On the left if I'm coming from campus. The museum's opposite.
That's right. Are you driving? You might have problems parking. Anyway, carry on along Main Street until you get to the roundabout. The theatre's on your left. Then you'll see the police station. Don't go past that, but turn right on the roundabout into Dowding Street. You'll see the underground station on your right and some kind of shop on your left, a bookshop, I think. Just a bit further on, you'll see the main station on your left, and her house is directly opposite that. There's a cafe there too. Maybe you can park there.
Okay, got that.
Alternatively, you could, of course, turn right at the crossroads where the museum is, and then take the first left. I can't remember the name of the road, which will take you past the cafe I mentioned and into Dowding Street. Turn right and you're there. Now you have some time to look at questions 26 to 30. Now listen to the next part of the discussion and answer questions 26 to 30.
Hi, John. Welcome. Professor Quick told me you were coming.
Thank you for agreeing to meet me. I understand you can give me some pointers on this House of Commons gig.
I wouldn't call it that. It's actually quite tough, but very rewarding. So, what do you want to know?
Well, what are my chances of getting onto it?
Professor Quick thinks your chances are very good, but I should tell you that there's a pretty rigorous selection procedure.
So I don't just send them my CV and wait.
No, they don't accept CVs. You have to go online, register, and fill in an application form. You can phone or go online to get more information if you like. But I had a peek before you came, and there are 6 placements this year across 5 roles in 3 different departments.
6? Is that all? And the prof said I had a good chance. How many people apply, do you think?
Oh, hundreds, I imagine. The prof says he'll give you an excellent reference. Do you want to hear what they are? There's one place in the DCCS, which is doing research for 1 or 2 select committees. 2 places in the DIS, which is Information Services, one of which is to support the project manager there, and the other, well, just doing statistics. The other 3 are at the FAC, or Department of Facilities. One involves you in engineering projects on government properties, dealing with contractors, and so on, and the other 2 are concerned with project delivery, whatever that means. But you can get the details on the website once you've applied.
Can I choose which I want to do?
Yes, in fact, you apply for one of the particular posts available. They then see how your skills, qualifications, and experience relate to that post. Then you wait to be called for an interview.
How long do I have to wait for that?
Sometimes as long as 2 months. They do a thorough check on you to make sure everything's above board. You know, make sure your qualifications and references are genuine. And they'll run background security and health checks too. The interview is a bit unnerving, but they all are. It's 3 or 4 suits getting you to expand on your application and demonstrate why you're the man for the job. Oh, if you're shortlisted for an interview, you might be asked to write a test. That can happen either before or at the interview.
Heavens! So, if you get the post, what are the perks?
It's a great place to work. The Houses of Parliament. What could be better? You have access to all the facilities you could want. There are loads of restaurants and cafes, sports facilities, shops, medical facilities, the lot. You get paid, not a lot, about £18,000 for a 35-hour week and paid holidays. Plus, you get paid days off for study, which is bonus, eh? The best thing for me was that I got to meet interesting and influential people who helped my career. You make useful connections there, and that, as much as the experience, is what pays off in the end.
Well, there's no harm in trying, I suppose. Thanks for your help.
No problem. Just call if you think of anything else you want to know.
That is the end of section 3. You now have half a minute to check your answers. Now turn to section 4.